Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Brianna. If you guys don't know me, today we're going to be talking about life's meaning, our purpose, and really what life just should be like, I was actually reading in Ecclesiastes 2, and from verse 1 to 11, there's just so much in there that I want to read to you guys. So let's read it together. It says, I said to myself, come on, let's try pleasure. Let's look for the good things in life. But I found that this too was meaningless. So I said, laughter is silly. What good does it do to seek pleasure? After much, I thought I decided to cheer myself with wine. And while still seeking wisdom, I clutched at foolishness. In this way, I tried to experience the only happiness most people find during their brief life in this world. I also try to find meaning by building huge homes for myself and planting beautiful vineyards. I made gardens and parks, filling them with all kinds of fruit trees. I built reservoirs to collect the water to irrigate my many flourishing groves. I bought slaves, both men and women, and others were born into my household. I also owned large herds and flocks, more than any of the kings who had lived in Jerusalem before me. I collected great sums of silver and gold, the treasure of many kings and provinces. I hired wonderful singers, both men and women, and had many beautiful concubines. I had everything a man could desire, so I became greater than all who had lived in Jerusalem before me, and my wisdom never failed me. Anything I wanted I would take. I denied myself no pleasure. I even found great pleasure in hard work, a reward for all my labors. But as I looked at everything I had worked so hard to accomplish, it was all so meaningless, like chasing the wind. There was nothing really worthwhile anywhere. So essentially what he was saying is that life without God is meaningless. These are the words of the teacher King David's son, who ruled in Jerusalem. And you can just start to see that he had everything, like he lacked nothing, yet he also felt so empty. He felt like life was meaningless. He didn't understand. And I feel like if we just go deeper down to Ecclesiastes 2:24 to 26, where it says, so I decided there is nothing better than to enjoy food and drink and to find satisfaction in work. Then I realized that these pleasures are from the hand of God. For who can eat or enjoy anything apart from him? God gives wisdom, knowledge, and joy to those who please him. I'm going to stop where it says the please him part, because God gives us wisdom, knowledge, and joy when we do what he asks, when we please him. And I feel like in that, life becomes more meaningful. Like, I don't know, I personally have just felt so much more meaning when I'm getting wisdom from the Lord, getting knowledge from the Lord, and I'm like living in that joy that he talks about. Like, I just feel so much more like meaningful, like everything actually means something, that this is all for a purpose and for his will. And in Ecclesiastes 3:1 to 14, I want to go deep into this. It says, this is the time for everything. I feel like a lot of people like to overthink about life and like what it means, and like just what they're going to be in the future, and if they're falling behind right now in their life. Like, I just feel like it can be overwhelming. But I love Ecclesiastes 3:1 to 14, where it says, for everything there is a season, a time for every activity under heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to harvest, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to tear down, a time to build up, a time to cry and a time to laugh, a time to grieve and a time to dance, a time to scatter stones and a time to gather stones, a time to embrace and a time to turn away, a time to search and a time to quit searching, a time to keep and a time to throw away, a time to tear and a time to mend, a time to be quiet and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time for war and a time for peace. What do people really get for all their hard work? I have seen the burden God has placed on us all, yet God has made everything beautiful for its own time. He has planted eternity in the human heart, but even so, people cannot see the whole scope of God's work from beginning to end. And so God's plan gives us meaning and purpose. And God's purpose really is that we would fear him, that we would have reverence for him. And in doing that, that equals the blessings that he will pour out on us when we are respecting him and obeying his commandments. The bottom line is that we are not going to understand everything. Like it just says here, like, it can be so overwhelming to think about the future and all that, and I've myself felt like that. But it literally says God has a time for everything, and everything will come at its own time according to the Lord's will. I don't know who needs to hear that, but like, don't overwhelm yourself with the unknown, because like it says right here, but even so, people cannot see the whole scope of God's work from beginning to end, and we're not meant to. We're really not meant to. And I just feel like so much peace knowing that I don't have to know everything. Like, it was such a fresh relief, honestly, when I started following the Lord and realizing that I did not have to know all the answers. I did not have to know everything, because the Lord knows everything, and then with time he will help me understand everything. And I just think that's amazing. But that's really all I have to share. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a like, comment, and subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next video. God bless.